All right, let's finish this shit up with Wishmaster, the Prophecy Fulfilled. Oh, I didn't put the movie back in. It's upstairs. This is on Prime. If anyone wants to check it out, I wouldn't recommend it. So, much like the third one, I think that the quality is, drastically reduced compared to the first one, which isn't all that amazing in its own right, but there's likable things. There's things I liked in it. There's definitely some absolutely ridiculous shit, but there you go. All right, so this was directed by Chris Angel as well. No, not the magician from the last film. So he takes on both of these subpar efforts in the Wishmaster franchise. But as I said, people are like, oh my god, they're completely unwatchable. They're dog shit. I understand why someone would say that. I just disagree. I just don't think you're watching as shitty of movies as I have in my life. So when I watch this, this is like, it's okay. It's less than okay. It's not good, but there are things to take away from it. We get opening tits. There you go. We got our lead girl here, so we got a lead heroine here, and she shows off her boobs, which is a rarity in horror. This was the first time where I understood. I don't know why I didn't make this connection, but in the second movie, I had said he needs to take in 1,001 souls, and I realized while watching this movie that that's in reference to Alibaba and the 1,001 nights and the 40 thieves, and I was like, oh, 1,001. Alibaba, the genie, got it. Okay, I get what they're going for now. I don't know why I didn't put that together, but I didn't. The Prophecy Fulfilled is the little subtitle here for the movie. That makes sense since this is the last movie. So that's it. He's been trying to fulfill the prophecy the whole time. He did it. All right, no more movies. But did he? He did, technically, but he never did it because he was trying to do it, which he did do it with the girl, but he didn't actually fulfill the prophecy, even though she had fulfilled the prophecy. Does that make sense? Yeah, totally. All right. Anyway, moving on. All right, so we have this opening where this couple's in love. They just bought a house. Their life is perfect. They roll up in the motorcycle. They're both beautiful. They both got the perfect house. They got the perfect life. She's got the perfect tits. They have the perfect sex. They got this and that. The opening's, what it is. And then it cuts to 3 years later, and he is paralyzed from a motorcycle accident, and they are waiting on a suit, to go through. They have a lawsuit that's supposed to go through, and they have a lawyer who is trying to get this to go through. And this guy, the lawyer in the movie, I knew him instantly from Battlestar Galactica. Any BSG fans out there? Was looking for Starbuck, but not to be seen in this movie. I don't blame her. But now their relationship is absolutely trash because he thinks he's less than. He's not a man anymore. I don't have a penis, therefore I am not a man. I could empathize. I can't empathize. I can sympathize. I can't empathize. My penis still works. But if it didn't work, holy shit, I would be absolutely suicidal. So I get it, man. It would be very tough. Man, that'd be a rough one. And yeah, as I said, he cuts off the face in this one of the guy once he kills him. So that's some continuity to this franchise where there's little to be found. And your relationship. Here's a good indicator. If anyone's out there and they're wondering if their relationship's in a bad or rocky place, here's a good indicator if you're in a shitty place in your relationship. So if whether you're the woman or the man or whatever, if your partner gets out of the shower naked and the other one walks in, if you walk in or whatever, and they run to the towel and cover themselves immediately so that you can't see them naked, and this isn't a normal thing, like there are some people who just have body issues and you're just used to that and you're like, oh, this is how they've always been. But if they're completely open with their body all the time and they do that, you're probably in a really bad place. It was so funny how she is, like, because we see it in the opening of the movie, how she's just like, boom, naked, take this in, take this fucking body in, it's perfect, isn't it? You want it. And I'm like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And then boom, she's in the shower. He comes in and she's like, "Don't you look at me. Don't you ever look at me. How dare you?" And then, oh man, I love this scene. See, there are good things in this. So the lawyer calls up the other dude. He's probably, I think he's I don't know if he's a lawyer or if he works for the insurance company. Whoever this guy is, he calls up. Man, this scene's brutal. So obviously at this point it's the djinn, and he calls this guy up and he's like, all right, he's talking to her to make it seem like he's talking about the case, which he kind of technically is, but in front of our main girl here. And he wants to make it seem like, because he doesn't want to let her in on the fact that he's a djinn and that he's making this guy do things to himself. So he's talking like in code, but he's telling him what to do, which is forcing him. Which, if he has this ability at all times to just make people do whatever they want, like, why didn't you just do it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So maybe I missed where he made a wish of like, you can't, I'd like to see you try to control me. Maybe he said something like that and I just missed it. But regardless, so he makes this guy cut off his tongue, cut off his nose, stab into his face, move it around after faxing over the $10 million settlement that he signed, and then to take a gun and blow his brains out. The fucking hilarity of this scene is the people who work for him. This just, I don't even feel like this is bad acting, so I'm not trying to defend the acting because it is shit on the people outside his door going, "Oh no, don't. You have so much to live for." It reminds me of like American Movie. Anybody American Movie fan? Oh my God, if you want to see the greatest documentary of all time, American Movie, please do yourself a favor. Mark Borchardt and those, oh my God, you will never find a funnier documentary in your whole life. It's this like hit guy, he's trying to make a horror movie. It's amazing. So anyway, there's this scene when he has his uncle, and he's making him act in the movie that he's making, and he's like, he's making him record his lines. "It's all right, it's okay, there's something to live for, Jesus told me so." It's just, that's the way, like, he has no like range to it, he has no emphasis, he's nothing. It's hilariously bad. And it's for real. I mean, it's a real documentary. In this movie, these people are like, no, you have something to live for. Jesus told me so. It's so fucking funny. But I had to make my own kind of headcanon with this scene because this is some scumbag freaking insurance claim, dude. And much like Saw 6, where you kind of get the cathartic feeling of watching these scumbags, the what are they called in the movie? Like, you hear that? Oh, that's lightning and thunder outside. If you can hear it, it's thunder. Okay, I know the difference. There's a lot of lightning going on right outside. Man, it's like right outside. It's loud. The dog. What are they called in Saw 6? The dog pit or it doesn't matter. But yeah, I kind of made my own headcanon. Like, this guy's such a prick that these guys are outside his door like, "No, don't kill yourself." And they're like, "Not." And he's like, "Yes, he's gonna die. I'm gonna move up in the world." They'd probably be fucking laid off and bring in new people. So probably not so good for all of them. They probably should have stopped them. But alright, but yeah, I just don't do it. So good, so good. They just picked somebody up off the street and they were like, "You got a minute?" Alright. And when he cuts his nose off, it's pretty good. The effect, it was really good. I liked that. So there's things to take away here. Alright. And okay, so here's the thing within this movie that I liked. So the main girl here, she's the one having to make the wish, which it's always a girl in all 4 movies. They never changed that up once. But he stays in character and actually gets her to wish unbeknownst to her throughout the film. In the other 3 films, he makes it very apparent that he's around, that he's a threat, that he's, up to no good, that her wishes are gonna have these grave consequences to them, what have you. But in this movie, he plays it smart. And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to stay this handsome guy that she's interested in. And she's just going to wish around me. And she does. She just wishes like 1, 2, 3. I wish my boyfriend could walk. I wish he could love me for me as the last wish. And the second wish is... I can't remember. But she makes 3 freaking wishes like nothing. And it's like, why didn't the other Jinn do that in the other 3 movies? It's like, don't let her in on the fact that that she is your waker. Your waker. And then... yeah, I already said all that shit. So the girl in the bar, here's a really weird scene. So there's a girl that's in the restaurant. She's serving the lawyer, which is now the Jinn, and the main girl here. And and there's this couple, because there's this really hot belly dancer who's dancing, and it's just like a freaking aphrodisiac for these people. They all just start macking on each other. And this is making the not date kind of uncomfortable for our main girl and the Jinn here, because she's like still has feelings for her boyfriend, but her husband, sorry, and she doesn't want to, she doesn't know where they are at this point. He's like talking about going out and getting laid, and she doesn't want him anymore, and she just wants the lawyer guy, and the lawyer guy's coming on strong. So it's like this uncomfortable scene of like, oh, like, I feel like we should be kissing right now, but we can't do that. That's not where we're at. But then the waitress comes over and she's like, oh, I wish someone would kiss me like that. I wish someone to kiss me like that. And then she says something about like, take my breath away, I think is what it is. And so like everyone in the bar just starts kissing her like really hard. But here's the weird thing. A, we never see her actual demise. So did people just keep kissing her until she couldn't breathe anymore? Which would have actually been a cool death. I've never seen anything like that. Just people keep kissing this girl, and she keeps trying to come up for air and never gets it, and eventually asphyxiates. So that's kind of a missed opportunity there. Whatever. I have a feeling the lights are going to go out. We're just going to record this shit in the dark, because this is, battery operated here. But what's weird about the scene is that all the guys in the scene are kissing her on the mouth and like really kissing her. But then the girls who walk up only kiss her on the cheek. And I have to wonder if the girl in the scene was like homophobic, or was like, I don't want to kiss women on a screen. And they were like, well, you need to do this scene. Which, if that's the case, I feel like they could have just cut the women from the scene and just had more men. I'm sure there's plenty of grips and all sorts of shit lining up around the studio. Like, I'll kiss the chick. She's a very attractive woman. So, like, it's weird when the girls come up and they just kiss her on the cheek. Like, it's only the women. It happens like 2 women and like 5 men, and both of the women just come up and kiss her on the cheek, and then like the 5 men like make out with her. It was like, what the fuck? I was looking at the scene like, what the hell am I missing here? So there you go. Odd scene. Of course I would notice something like that, because here we go. The 2 chicks are about to kiss, and it's like, the cheek? What is this shit? She your mother? And so they come home after she wishes that her husband can walk again, and he can walk again. And the celebration and the surprise and the absolute fucking astonishment of such a scenario where your husband hasn't been able to walk for years, he's been said to have never been able to again, like by the doctors, and obviously signs were agreeing with that, if she was never actually going to walk again. And so she doesn't seem all that, like, she's like, oh my god, you can walk again. Not obviously, I don't think her mind would actually connect to like, oh my god, I wished for this earlier. She might, but she wouldn't think anything of it. You wouldn't think anything of it. But there's really no like celebration. There's no like, what the fuck, like freak out, like what's happening? Especially, I mean, I get that the Jinn doesn't really care, so when he kind of cuts in front of her and he's like, oh, that's really awesome, Michael, or whatever the hell the guy's name is, he's like, that's cool anyway, blah blah blah, like he goes off with it. But she should be like, wait, hold the phone, what the is going on here, you know? So I thought that that was really bizarre that she just didn't seem to care at all that much. But of course he gets super jealous, and now that he has his dick back, instead of fucking his wife, he decides he's just gonna go out and get laid, which is kind of a dick move with your new dick, your old dick that works like new again. Like, what in the hell? Okay? Your wife is clearly in love with you. You can be jealous, but work this shit out. This guy's a doofus. Alright. And, yeah, we already, so, I don't know what the second wish was. Maybe the walking was, I thought the walking was the first wish. Oh, wait. No, I just wrote down first wish, but I didn't write it down what it was. Yeah, I don't know what the second wish was. Oh well, doesn't matter. And so yeah, she wishes, he wishes. Now the third wish I thought was going to be a twist, and I thought that the twist was going to be that she meant her husband. Like, I wanted my husband, for me to be able to love him for who he really is. I mean, I don't know how that would fully make sense. They could have made sense, but I thought he was going to go for it, and it was going to be this last minute. After he had killed the husband, she was going to be like, oh no, I meant him. And then he'd be like, no, like, your wish isn't real. But then he would have forced her to make a third wish, so I guess it wouldn't have made any difference. But anyway. All right, so we have a scene here where he goes to a strip club, and he sees this chick up on stage, this hot chick, she's dancing up there, tits out, the whole thing. And there's a bartender, and he's like, I would give anything just to be a pimple on her ass. And then the guy just disappears, and there's the girl's on stage, and he's like, enjoy the view. We don't get a close-up of her ass and, like, some pimple that looks like the guy's face or something. Like, that was a total missed opportunity. Why? And then she should have, like, done, like, when she started spinning on the bar, I thought they were going to show a close-up of his face, and then I thought it was going to be like her dropping to the ground on her ass and crushing him and, like, splattering his head open like a pimple. Like, total missed opportunity for a funny gore gag. It would have felt like something out of a freaking Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but nope. And then so after she makes that third wish, there's this dude that's summoned, and you think he's going to be like a protector. And then he goes into the place where she works, and there's this girl that works there, and he just lops her head and her hand right off of her body in like one fell swoop. And I was like, holy shit! Like, what the hell is this guy doing? And he's only sent there to kill her. And then he gets kind of close to her, and he's about to do it, and the djinn comes and saves her life and kills him, and he's dispatched, and that's that. And I was like, oh, he's dead, and that's gone, and that's that. It's very quick. They both have swords of truth, and they go on with a full-on sword fight. It turns into the frickin' Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It feels like a Power Rangers-looking villain fighting some dude who's doing like karate kicks with a sword and shit. It was funny. I was like, am I watching Ivan Ooze fight like the Black Ranger right now? Like, what the hell am I watching? So that got really, really silly. And then we love when he fights the bouncer at the strip club, and he crushes the guy's hand. He's like, I wish you could fight better. I wish you could put up a better fight. He grabs the guy's hand, and he just crushes the guy's hand into itself. And then he spikes him. He like grabs up a freaking beam behind him, like a pipe, and he brings it back, and he impales the guy, and then he just picks him up and he throws him into the trash can. I thought that was all pretty funny. Like, he's hiding the body. It was pretty funny stuff. And then the djinn in this, he's talking to like the other djinns, the other djinns that are waiting for him to fulfill the prophecy. It would have been a really cool cameo for the first djinn if he would have been in there. The look of him. It wouldn't even have to been the same actor, but make it look exactly like him. It doesn't matter. But these djinn look nothing like him. They look more like demons or something. But yeah, they're there, and they keep taunting him like, what are you doing? Like, don't fall in love with this girl. Let us free. Fulfill her wish. And he's like, it's gotta be real. So yeah, they're waiting there. It felt like Freddy when in Freddy's Dead, when he's talking to like those three sperm looking freaking Freddy head things, and they're like flying around, and they're like talking to him in the flames and stuff. So stupid. Freaking, or like in Shocker, I want it all, baby, or give it to me, or you got it, baby. That's what it is. The TV with the demons. You got it, baby. Such a dumb fucking movie. God. And then, yeah, so she actually has sex with the djinn. The djinn jizzes right in her. And the D is silent. So the djinn jizz right up in her. And then he's like, do you love me? Like right after they finish. And she's like, whoa, let's back it up a little bit. Who's had that experience? Because I met this girl. It's a long story, so I'm going to shorten it down really, really small. God, it's hard to tell a very short version of this story, but a friend invited someone over. She was like, don't you touch her. She's a virgin and she's, off limits and this and that. And I was like, I don't even know who this chick is. So she comes over and like my friend goes upstairs to, to go to bed, and this girl's on me like, I mean, instantly. I was on the phone with my friend, Lori. Shout out to Lori if she ever watches my videos. And this girl just jumps right on top of me and just starts kissing on me and starts taking my pants off. And I'm like, Lori, I gotta go. What the fuck is happening right now? And I knew exactly what was happening. And so I shot up and, we do our thing. And right after I finish, she looks right in my eyes and she goes, do you want to go to Vegas and get married right now? And I'm like, no. Like, I got up so fast. I was like, no, I don't. And this was when I must have been 20. I was really young. And that should have been my like absolute get out of Dodge. You need to leave. You need to walk out of this situation forever right now. And what did I do? I decided to hang out with her for the next 2 straight days, have sex with her a ton, and then drive her home. And I swear to God, she got out of my car. She handed me $70 and said, thanks for a good time, or thanks for the ride, thanks for a good time in the ride or whatever. And I was like, what's this money for? And she was like, it's for like gas money or whatever. And then she ran off. And my friends to this day thought that I was a prostitute. Like they always talk about that story. Like, she paid you for sex. Like, you're a fucking prostitute. It's funny. But yeah, $70. I'll never forget that. And then yeah, so she goes upstairs and they have this big fight, and her husband, I keep calling her boyfriend, gets stabbed with the sword of truth, and then he's about dead, and then she is about to kill the djinn, and so the guy turns around, exposing the sword that's still sticking through him, which should be through his spine, so he should be paralyzed again. So I don't know how he got up, but once paralyzed and reformed, I guess he can just undo it again. So he gets up and he leans back, and she pushes him into him, so you get a back-to-back death. See, I was really trying to set up the back-to-back death joke, like there's 2 deaths in a row, so they're back-to-back, but the death's actually back-to-back. And I was trying to sell it, but then I went off on a little tangent before that, so I don't think the timing worked. But at least you guys know what I was going for. Back-to-back death. Poor joke. That's that. And then her husband dies. I tried to call him a boyfriend again. And then she just runs outside. I don't know why she doesn't just stay in there with him, but she runs outside and that's it. Movie ends. Over. Done. Moving on. So there you go. Titanic survivor. Helgrimir. Peter Estradason. I like to roll my R's. That was fun. He has asked me, he's gonna buy yet another month of series reviews here, and he asked me if I would be down to do the Tremors series next for him next month, and I said absolutely. So look forward to that coming up here soon. I will absolutely be doing the 6 movies and the television series. Fuck it. I've been wanting to do it anyways. I own them all, so it's time to do it. I have not watched the 6th movie, A Cold Day in Hell or whatever, and I have watched like 1 or 2 episodes of the television series. I do have that on DVD somewhere. So yeah, I look forward to that. And the 4th one, the one where they go back in time, it's like the 1800s or something. I honestly don't know if I ever actually watched that one. I think I only watched like clips of it. So I'm looking forward to going back. I love the first one. Maybe I'll try to find, has the that Kevin Bacon television series pilot, was that ever released? If it is, I'm going to look for it and try to see if I can review that too, because that would be cool to check that, what it could have been kind of thing. So anyway, guys, that was fun. Thank you to Caleb for my shirt here, and thank you to Hal Gramir for the donations and the recommendations, the requests here. That was fun, and I will see you guys later. Adios.